As I looked on from the Amex yesterday in complete and utter disgust, I thought that was it, and I still do. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. You know why I'm here. I'm here to reflect, and got back from the Amex 10 o'clock last night. Another day at the weekend wasted for 3,000 West Ham fans taking the trip down to the Amex. That's just completely dismissed by the players, the manager, the board, everybody. There doesn't seem to be any remorse coming back from post-match interviews. That's what I'm going to discuss in this video. But just a few things I need to get off my chest first. Now, I planned out when I got home last night, right, I'll do some sort of reflection reaction tomorrow morning. And I expected to be a little bit more calm when I woke up this morning, but I was even more angry than I was last night, and I still am. The blood is still boiling in my body because many people said it outside, and many people have been going to West Ham a lot longer than me, and they said that's probably the worst performance I've ever seen from West Ham United. Now, I've seen, me personally, I've seen some stinkers, but that had to be the worst. That was utterly shambolic, and I could use many words right now that I'm going to refrain from using, but it was utterly just absolutely awful. Now, I sort of debated whether I'd sort of like write a script so I could sort of articulate things a little bit better in this video, but I opted against it because I want this to be pure in the moment, and I just need to get all this off my chest. There's a few things I want to discuss, but this is mainly going to be raw from me. So let's get into it then. Now, listen, as soon as that first goal went in, we knew what way it was going, wasn't it? The lineup, I don't think many of us would have changed too much about it. But then again, it's the tactics. It's the tactics that always let us down. And Moyes even said it in his post-match interview when he said we had to play differently. We couldn't press as much. Why? Why couldn't we press as much? Were we scared of Brighton? Brighton are on a brilliant side. They're in some brilliant form. They're having an amazing season. This is nothing against Brighton, but they're not the best team in the world that we can't even press against. Why weren't we pressing? Why weren't we putting them under pressure? Why was Danny Ings the only one sort of half-heartedly going around doing a bit of pressing? And the complete difference about it is when you look Brighton, when we got the ball, we didn't have time to think. They were on us, pressing. Within 3 seconds, they were there. They didn't give us any time on the ball. And at times, their centre-halves, their goalkeepers stood on the ball for at least 5 to 10 seconds because we weren't within 30 yards of them. They can do what they like. Dad said to me, this is like a training game for them. It wasn't even a training game. Many people have said it. It was like year 7 versus year 11 at school. They completely schooled us. De Zerbi completely dominated David Moyes, completely outdone him, and he wasn't even on the flipping touchline. That's how bad it got. And it got, it got past a bad performance. It was embarrassing to be in there because they were taking the absolute mick out of us. Can we play you every week? Olays. It was all coming out. It was an absolutely disgusting performance, and how David Moyes could stand there with his hands in his pocket and take Ben Rama off at half time and not bring Skamaka on and put on a defender for a defender when you're 2-0 down, 1-0 down, to bring on Downs to consolidate the midfield when we were 3-0 down. Why are you consolidating the midfield when you're 3-0 down? Oh, honestly, there's so many things that the fans can pick out of this that was just utterly disgraceful. And the fans tried to see this funny side of it, which I absolutely applauded. There was we've got the ball, we've lost the ball, we are effing not very good. It all came out, and now, we tried to find a funny side of it, but you've got to look at the reality of it now. And this is the most baffling stat of them all. The last time West Ham United won away from home in the Premier League was on the 28th of August. I was there, Villa Park. We're now in March. 28th of August was the last time we won a Premier League match away from home, and we got crap there as well. It was away from home at Aston Villa. Pablo Fornal scored that fluky goal. I didn't really think we deserved to win that either, but nevertheless, it was a win. 28th of August. That is a hell of a long time ago. That's relegation form. Our away form, we must be at the bottom of the pile for away form. That's just not good enough. And if that's not a sackable offence on its own, I don't know what is. Just sitting here, getting it all off of my chest, and it's just not good enough. We're sat here, and David Moyes continually wheels out we've had a good 2 years in Europe. No, it's not good enough anymore. 2 years, everybody was thankful for David Moyes and probably still is. But the respect for David Moyes is gone now, because he stayed there. He's resolutely stood there with his hands in his pockets, not changing things, refusing to make positive decisions. And some fans thought there was a turning point. I began to thought last weekend, we've got something here to turn. But then we just get served up that utter dross yesterday at the Amex. It's just, it's unforgivable. It really, really is. And don't think the players get away with it lightly, because they were just as bad as well, if not worse. David Moyes part of the lineup. Yes, he put out the shocking tactics, but it's still those players that didn't put in any effort yesterday. We completely downed tools, and you could tell that pretty much from early on in the game. Johnson got absolutely schooled, and I said it for a long, long time. I don't think he's good enough. But, I do feel for him. He was put up against Mitoma. He's a very, very good player. But for 3 of the goals, he's at fault. I mean, it was schoolboy defending. For that goal from the corner, what is he doing? He's in a complete and utter no man's land. He gets turned, every 5 minutes by Mitoma. Mitoma had a right good game. He was all over him. And, yeah, the substitutions from Moyes, baffling. The tactics are baffling. And why he's still in a job is absolutely baffling. But the players, coming out in post-match interviews, Rice's whole body language, demeanour, and comments rub West Ham fans up the wrong way. And I haven't even started on David Moyes' post-match interview yet. Just wait till we get to that. But the players have got to hang their heads in shame, because that was an absolutely disgusting performance. 3,000 West Ham fans paid 30 quid to watch that yesterday. They paid however much money for food, for travel. The trains went up the absolute, went up the wall yesterday. It was a nightmare to get to. But we still turned up. We still sang loud and proud at the start. And I tell you what, the fans do not deserve this. Not one of those West Ham fans in there yesterday deserved to see that. We're paying for this. We're paying to watch the absolute dross. They don't care. Them players don't care. You could tell that there was no effort there whatsoever from the vast majority of them. I thought Bowen was absolutely awful yesterday. There was no effort there. There was no press. And, that's just a couple of players. I can run through pretty much all of them. Just absolutely pathetic. And the fact that we lost 4-0 and Brighton barely got out of second gear. I don't think they did get out of second gear. That's the worrying thing about it. And Brighton, I think they're a great club, great fans, great team. And, they completely deserve to win, but they won't have an easier game all season, because that was just, it was below a training game for them. That's how bad it was, how embarrassing it was to be there and to witness us just completely not care whatsoever. One away win since the 28th of August 2022, and that was on the 28th of August. I don't know when it was before that, but that's absolutely pathetic in itself. And for Moyes, and one question I think journalists and whatever should ask Moyes and Rice in these press conferences is say, so is this still a blip? Because all we continually heard for months and months and months is a blip. We're going to get back to it. It's a flipping long blip if it is, mate, because we've been told, this Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste with all these press conferences, week in, week out. They say the same stuff. We'll bounce back next week. We'll do this. We'll do that. But it's not sticking anymore. It's not working. And the board have got to take action now. And I think they've left it too late. I said it on West Ham Fan TV yesterday. I said it on my review outside the Amex yesterday equally. I think we've left it too late now. I think we should have sacked him like a considerable, amount of time ago. I think it was feasible to sack him just after the World Cup, that Brentford game. I think that was it. That was in 2022. We're now 3 months into 2023, and we're still sat here with the same manager playing the same crap football with the same ideas that are just completely and utterly not working. The board have to take action. The board are letting West Ham United sleepwalk to the Championship. Because if we play anywhere near that for the rest of the season, we are 100% going to get relegated. And we're now, as I said yesterday, hunting for 3 teams worse than us. And I don't think we're going to find them if we continue to play like that. And then for the sheer audacity for Moyes to walk out there yesterday in the post-match press conference, and he was asked about the fans' reaction about leaving early and venting their opinions as the players half-heartedly walked over to thank the travelling fans at the end. And he said, I do want to get the wording right, so I'm going to go word for word. He says, yeah, I think most of those fans you're talking about were the ones who watched the last 2.5 years in European football for the last 2.5 years. He then went on to say, so we need them behind us. Good supporters support us. hang on, I'll get into it. Good supporters support us when it's bad as well as when it's good. If you don't laugh, you cry. Honestly, the things I could say to that. He's lecturing West Ham fans on how to support their own club. Many fans paid 30 quid to go and watch that yesterday and telling us to support us properly when it's good as well as it's bad. Yes, we'll be forever grateful for that European run, for that season, because it was utterly incredible. But we're now sat here lingering, loitering at the fact of relegation from the Premier League. We seem to do it every 10 years. We're in a cycle and we pretty much met that cycle now. We are one of the worst teams in this league, and that's completely undeniable. And for Moyes to say we need to support them and get behind those players after the dross that they serve up week in, week out, and for Moyes to continually bang the drum of we had Europe for 2 years is killing the football club. It's completely killing it. And if we keep going like this, we're going to get relegated. And all the players will go, all the decent players will go, and it'll be obvious, obviously Rice will go, all the players will go, and we'll have to completely rebuild again. And I think that's going to be, I think that'll completely do us over. And I fear for West Ham then. Put your thoughts into the comment section down below. It's really, really not good. If you think I've overreacted, put that in the comment section down below. If you agree, disagree, put all your thoughts of the current situation and the game into the comment section down below. Hurting today, really am. And I've got to the stage now where even the most positive West Ham fans, can't deny the fact if we play like that, we're going to get relegated because there aren't 3 teams worse than us at the moment. And it's worrying. It really, really is. The downfall of West Ham has been absolutely baffling. And we now sit here in a deep, deep relegation battle and with a manager continually stood there, banging the same drum, doing the same things, with a board refusing to sack him and get somebody in with new ideas who could maybe keep us up. Because if this keeps going like this, it's really not going to end well. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, check out our channel sponsors, SRM Carver & Son and Manscaped by clicking the links in the description down below. And I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.